श्री गुरु गौरांगगंधार गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत शिल गोरक्षर बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट शिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जय। जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माय की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर भजन रहस्य की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य शिक्षाष्टक की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति विदितो कोडियगुर्वन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभातगगने योगोरसङ्कीर्तनाय मायाभारतिमिङ्गिलोदरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवानिमान् कृष्णप्रेमसुधाब्धिगाहनसुखां प्रादात् प्रभुं तं भजे। वन्दे भक्तिविनोदं श्रीगौरशक्तिस्वरूपकं भक्तिशास्त्रज्ञसम्राजं राधारससुधानिधिं नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वृषभानुसुतान्वितवामतनुं यमुनातटनागरनन्दसुतां मुरलीकलगीतविनोरपरं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुम्। Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukhatang Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakamaditaranga Madhye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Saruparaya Sangha Harsha Shesha Ghoshanam Shikshanashtakakya Krishna Kirtanaika Poshanam Prema Nama Matra Vishwa Jivanaika Sambharang Prema Dhama Devameva Naumi Gaura Sundaram Premodbhavita harshiryoddvegadanyarti mishritam Lapitam Gorachandrasya Bhagyavarbhir Nishevyate Prabhur Shikshashtak Shloka Jai Pore Shune Krishne Prem Bhakti Tar Bade Dine Dine. Whoever reads or hears the Lord Shikshashtak verses will find their prem bhakti to Krishna growing more and more each day. Jai Shri Shikshashtak Ki Jai. Okay, and now let's recite these verses we're doing every day now. What am I opening up? Sorry, my mind's wrong thing. It's a Word document. Here. Okay, so in Bhajana-rahasya, before Cheto Darpana Marjanam comes this verse. Tam nirvyajam bhajagunanidhim pavanam pavananam shraddharajan matiratitaram uttama shlokamolim prodyananta karanakuhare hantayannama bhanor abhasopi kshapayati mahapataka dhvantarashim. Tam nirvyajam bhaja. Sincerely, nirvyajam, sincerely, bhaja, worship, tam, him. Worship him. Worship him, atitaram, wholeheartedly. Shraddha rajan matir, with your mind enlivened or colored by or imbued with shraddha. Worship, who is he? He is Gunanidhim. He is the reservoir of divine qualities. He's Pavanam Pavananam. He is among all purifiers, he is the supreme purifier or deliverer. Actually, the Shrita Goswami says that he delivers he purifies all the purifiers even. And Uttama Shloka Molim, he is glorified. He is the foremost of those who are glorified by the topmost verses of glorification. So Abhasopi, right here in the fourth line, Abhasopi, when even an Abhas, the faintest dawn of the sun of his name, Yanama Bhanor, when that prodyan, when that arises within the within the depths, kuhare, within the depths, within the cave of the antakarana, of the heart, then kshapayati, it destroys mahapatak, the greatest, most grievous sins. He destroys the mass of dvanta, of darkness, from the greatest of sins. Just the abhas, just the faintest dawn of the sun of that name. Yanamapano. Parama pavana Krishna tahar charan, nishkapata shraddha saha koroho bhajan. Jar nama suryabhas, antare praveshi, dhangsha kore mahapap, andhakar rashi. So it's basically pretty like a direct translation. Krishna is supremely purifying. Worship his feet with sincere, guileless faith. His name's sun-like effulgence, entering within the heart, destroys grievous sins, that mass of darkness. Just the effulgence, just the abhas, just the dim glow of his name, of the sun, of his names. Antare praveshi, having entered within, dhangshakori, it destroys mahapap, andakar rashi. Okay. E Shikṣāṣṭake ko he Krishna lila kram, ihate bhajana krame lilar udgam. Prathame prathama shloka bhajo kichu din, dvitiya shloke te tabe hoto praveen. Chari shloke kramasha bhajana pakva koro, panchama shloke te nija siddha deha varo. Oy shloke siddha dehe radha padashray, aramba koriya krame unnati udoy. Choy shloka bhajite anartha dure gelo, তবে জানো সিদ্ধ দেহে অধিকার হইল অধিকার না লভিয়া সিদ্ধ দেহ ভাবে বিপর্যয় বুদ্ধি জন্মে শক্তির অভাবে সাবধানে ক্রম ধরো যদি সিদ্ধি চাও সাধুর চরিত্র দেখি শুদ্ধ বুদ্ধি পাও সিদ্ধ দেহ পেয়ে ক্রমে ভজন করিলে অষ্টকাল সেবা সুখ অনায়াসে মিলে शिक्षाष्टक चिंता करो स्मरण कीर्तन क्रमे अष्टकाल सेवा हवे उद्दीपन सकल अनर्थ जावे पावे प्रेम धन चतुर्वर्ग फल्गु प्राय हवे आदर्शन. Contemplate the Shikshashtak. Perform smaran and kirtan. Gradually, service throughout the 8 periods of the day will be awakened. All unwanted attachments will depart, and you will obtain Prem Dhan, the treasure of Prem. The 4 aims of mundane life, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, will then seem insignificant and disappear from sight. Therefore, Shikshashtak Chinta, contemplate the Shikshashtak. Okay, I'm not going to explain all these verses because we've gone over it so many times now. Okay, so we are Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Let's see who's here. Dandavat Pranams, Sarveshwari Mataji. Oh, and Lakshmi Ben Mataji, Harivo. And Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, and Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Vidyalala Sadidi, Ganga Mataji, and whoever else is watching, maybe Raseshwari Mataji, Indira Mataji, and who else? Oh, Shachi Devi, and Revati Didi, and Jaidev Prabhu, and anybody else watching, Dandavat Pranams. Okay, so yeah, we are continuing reading. Where did we read up to yesterday? Let's just look really quick. I think we made it to the very end, right? I think we made it to Sarvatma Snapanam. Let's see. Sarvatma Snapanam, that's what I think. Yeah, so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all those verses that we just went through, he gives those verses. That's text 10 in Bhajana-rahasya, and then text 11 is Chaitodarpana Marjanam. And from that point on, he gives different verses from various scriptures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam and other places, that illuminates that expand on these 7 excellent results that Krishnanam Sankirtan gives. Oops, I scrolled up too far. So yeah, for for Chetodharpana Marjanam, he explains what cleans the most powerful, the power of the holy name, which destroys the numerous sufferings of those who have taken shelter. It is the very embodiment of delightful transcendental bliss. It's the festival of Gokul, and it's the complete form um, of Krishna, fully complete form of the Lord, which, yeah, you it's more complete than it's yeah, Swayam Bhagavan, Vijendranandan, Sri Krishna, his complete form is contained in the names. And so then he talks about the futility of other cleaning methods like Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga has all these different distractions and it takes a very long time, has all these different results that will come from it that will bring you off the path and you'll do and all that. And then Nishkam Karma Yoga, Gyan, all these different processes, especially Gyan in this verse is just like you try so hard to clean the mirror of your heart, but what do you get? What's the result of all this long, difficult endeavor? It's just like beating empty husks. What's the result of that? Kleshala eva. Only hard work, only suffering and difficulty, nothing else. Nanyad, nothing else. And so then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. He gives this beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam for those who desire liberation, the mukshatam. Um, there's no better means, nata parang. There's no greater way to krintanam, to cut the bondage of karma, than by engaging in anukirtan and continuous kirtan of tirthapad, the Lord whose feet is the resting place of all holy places, whose feet are supremely purifying. Yeah. Why? Because through engaging in this anukirtan, the mind will will never again become attached or entangled karmasu in various fruitive activities. Whereas other processes, anyata, other processes for trying to clear, all these different things, Ashtanga yoga, Gyan, karma, all these things, there'll always be the kalilam, the contamination of raja and tama, of passion and ignorance. But but through kirtan of tirthapad, then you'll attain all your bondage to this cycle of karma will be cut fully. You'll attain liberation, moksha, easily. Okay, so those two verses were explaining all the things that we don't, like the removal of all the unwanted things, but it's not talking about anything positive. Oh wait, and there's this verse here also. Sakrit ucharitam yena. Person who even once chants the two syllables ha and ri, he has all the help he needs on the path towards going for moksha. He easily attains liberation. Okay, and then now comes the positive. Okay, that was the removal of the negative, now the positive thing. The holy name is like the moon. So this is Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. The holy name is like the moonlight that causes the white lotus of all auspiciousness to blossom. That's Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. And then he quotes this verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas, how the holy name is Madhur Madhuram. It is the sweetest of all that is sweet. Etan, these names, Mangala Mangala Nam. It is the most auspicious of all that is auspicious. Sakala Nigamavalli, from the vine of all the Vedas, it is the Satphalam. It is the eternal, perfect fruit. Chit Surupam. It's the very embodiment of Chit, of transcendence, of cognizance, of knowledge, of Chit. So Sakrid Api, even if once, Sakrit means only once, even if once it is Parigitam, it is sung, then if it's sung Shraddhaya with faith, or even Helaya, even neglectfully, Va means or. So Shraddha or Hela. if it's then, even if it's chanted neglectfully, O Bhriguvara, O best of the Bhrigus, Naramatram Tarayat Krishnanama. That Krishnanam Tarayat delivers Naramatram, that person. And then comes Vidyavadu Jivanam. So Harinam is the very life of transcendental knowledge, who's like the wife, transcendental knowledge, the bride of transcendental knowledge. So this verse is supported by the following verse from Guru Puran. He gives this verse, Yadi Chasi, if you desire Param Jnanam, to obtain the topmost knowledge, and Jnanat, and from that knowledge, from that topmost knowledge, Paramang Param, the topmost position that is attained, the topmost goal of that supreme knowledge, Tad, then, oh wait, it's Tad then, or of him, anyways, whatever. Tad Adar, yeah, Tad means uh, that. Adarena. And I think Tad is referring to Govinda Kirtanam. I could be wrong though. But anyways, with Adhar, with honor, respect, love, with care, all these Adar, with Adar, then engage Kuru. That means do. Do Govinda Kirtan, or engage in Govinda Kirtan. Perform Govinda Kirtanam. O Rajendra, O best of kings. And then this next verse, okay. O Dhatri, O Vidata. In this bhava, in this material existence, asmin means this bhava, material existence, O Isha, O Lord, the jivas, they do not get any sharma. No sharma, which means happiness. There's no sharma. Why? Because abhihata, they are beaten down, they are afflicted, they are suffering at the tapatrai, the threefold miseries, the threefold burning. Tap also means burning, scorching, burning miseries. And we know this adhyatmic, adibautic, adidaivik. Those miseries coming from one's own mind, coming from others, and coming from the demigods, which is like by the demigods. And that's a question I have. I didn't get to ask it to anybody, but Adi Daivak, we usually hear it means like all kinds of natural disasters, flooding, earthquakes, hurricanes, but also, and then also the excessive heat and rain and snow and all those kinds of things that are coming not from your mind or from other people in this world, but coming from um, other ways. But I'm wondering if it also refers to astrological things, like the influences of the planets um, when everything just seems to be going wrong. I think that's also Adidaivik. Must be, right? Anyhow, so the jivas in this material existence are suffering these threefold miseries, being beaten down, being abhitahata, means like that. So therefore, it's not possible to have any sharma, any happiness here. So, ashrayema, let us take shelter. Let us take shelter of um, tava angri chayam. Chaya means let us take shelter of the shade of your feet. Tava angri, your lotus feet, O Bhagavan, Bhagavangs. Your feet which are savidyam, which are endowed with transcendental knowledge, or which give transcendental knowledge. I still actually haven't fully understood what savidyam means here. In the translation here, it says which are full of knowledge. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so then comes this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, the last line of 429-49. It says, what is knowledge? Knowledge is that by which one's attention is concentrated upon the Supreme Lord. Yeah, means by which. Tan mati. Your mati is fixed on tan, on tat. That means he, Bhagavan, savidya. That vidya is that by which the mind is focused on tat, on the Lord, Supreme Lord. So Jay Shakti te Krishna Kore Udbhavan, that by that potency, by which there's realization, or one is elevated to thinking about Krishna all the time. Vidyanam, that that which is known as that is known as vidya, and that vidya destroys it. Khandan, it destroys avidya. Vidya destroys avidya, and the vidya vadur jivan, the life of that bride of knowledge, is Krishna Nam. And this vidya, Krishna par parme je koro stiraman. This vidya, vadu, she fixes, she makes one, she steers, she makes one's mind completely fixed on Krishna para parme, on the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So that was vidya vadu jivanam. And now this nam, this Krishna nam, it's Anandam Buddhivardhanam. It expands the ocean of transcendental bliss, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 8:320. Ekantino yasya na kanchanartham panchanti ye vai bhagavat prapanna. Okay, so this name, sorry, okay. So the devotees who are ekantino, they are completely, exclusively one-pointed on the Supreme Lord. And nakanchanartam vanchanti, they have no desires for any other material thing. And they are Bhagavat Prapanna, they are fully surrendered to Bhagavan, to the Lord. So what do these devotees do? These ekantik, akinchan, prapanna devotees, one-pointed, desireless, surrendered devotees. They gayanta, they sing the ati arvutam, the exceedingly wondrous, astonishing. Arvutam means wondrous or astonishing. Sumangalam, supremely auspicious. Sumangal, charitam, the pastimes, the activities, the qualities of tat, of he, of that Bhagavan. And by singing thus, they ananda samudra magna, they are magna, immersed, completely saturated, immersed in an ocean, a samudra of ananda. So that's Srimad Bhagavatam's verse, which talks about how these devotees are are completely drowned in the ocean of bliss. Okay, and now what's next is Pratiparam Purnamrita Swadanam. Okay. So let's see if I can figure out what this verse means. Yeah, yesterday I didn't fully understand it. Still, I don't 100% understand this verse, but let me try. Let me try again. All right. 1 second. Okay. So tebhyo. Tebhyo means unto those people. And this is referring to the devotees, which will be mentioned later on. So unto those devotees, namostu. Let there be obeisances. I offer obeisances to those devotees. And then the second half of the verse explains what are the qualities of these devotees. Krishneti varna yugalam shravanena yesham. Those devotees, shravanena, by hearing about the Lord, by hearing just the Krishneti varna yugalam. Yugal, we know the word yugal means the two, right? Like the divine couple. It's the couple, the two varna, the two syllables, Kri and Shna. So these devotees, when Shravanena, by hearing those two syllables of Kri and Shna, Ananda Tur Bhavati. Ananda Tu, I don't really fully understand this word, Ananda Tu, but I think it just means like filled with bliss. They become filled with bliss, and the hairs on their body, Vrinda makes it plural, and Roma means hairs on the body. It's Nartita. Nartita means dance. So all the hairs on the body of these devotees, they become filled with bliss, and their hairs dance on end. Their hairs dance. Their hairs on their body dance. Just having heard the two syllables Krishna, Krishneti Varna Yugalam. So then it says Bhava Vairidi Jirna Panka Samagna Mokshana Vichakshana Padukebhya. So their shoes, usually in Sanskrit verses, if you've noticed, usually when we explain, like when we give the translation, it's usually like in the exact, the English is in the exact reverse order as the Sanskrit's in. I think it's like that here. Acha. Okay. Um, Sorry. Okay. Somebody's okay. So it says paduka. Paduka means shoes. And so it's like it's even a more extreme way of glorifying it. It's like not just their feet, but even their shoes that's related to their feet. It's vichakshana. Vichakshana means ex expert. Well, let's just look up that word vichakshana really quickly. But yeah, I mean, clear-sighted. Chakshan means sight, right? We looked up this word last time, and anyways, let's just look it up again. I think it also means expert, though. I think in this context, it means expert. Vichakshana. Let's look it up. Clever, wise, experienced, familiar with. Familiar with? Maybe familiar with. Because I was just looking at this Bengali translation, and it says, where is it? What number is it? This is verse number 23. Okay. So, yeah, it says Vichakshan Paduka Samuha. So the feet are Vichakshana. Ah, shoot, I lost my spot. Vichakshana. It says, let's look it up in the Bengali dictionary, what Vichakshana means. Because I think it means expert here. Bengali dictionary. Vichakshan. Oops. Vichakshan means experienced, clever, skillful, discreet, wise. So it's very experienced. I think maybe experienced works. And skillful. Experienced and skillful. I think I'll use these two words. Those feet, the shoes of the Vaishnavas are very experienced. It's very skillful at mokshana, at delivering those souls who are samagna. They are completely drowned or are stuck, like immersed in the panka, in the mud. And jirna means like the rotten mud, the let's look up the word jirna. Jirna. Jirna means worn out, withered, wasted, decayed. Yeah. So it's like that. Wasted, decayed, worn out, withered, old, rotten. It's like that. So the rotten old mud, panka, from the ocean of material existence. Bhava Varidhi. So just the shoes of the sandals or the shoes of the devotees are very expert, are vichakshana at mokshana, at liberating people from who are stuck, who are like immersed or in the mud, in the jirnapanka, in the rotten mud from the ocean of material existence. So they're like at the rock bottom, just in the mud of material existence. Even their shoes are are expert in delivering them from that situation with the speak of their feet. So Tebyo Namostu, I offer my pranam to those devotees. Who? Who's Tebyo? That Tebyo means to them. To who? Those devotees who are Shravanena, just by hearing the Krishneti Varna Yugalam, just by hearing the two syllables of Krishna, Ananda Tur Bhavati, they are filled with Ananda and their hairs dance. The hairs on their body, Naratita, dance. This translation's is a bit different. I was just explaining how it says it in the Bengali translation, but let's see this translation how it says. The devotees whose bodily hairs stand on end and whose hearts tremble with bliss upon hearing the two syllables Krishna deliver the living entities engrossed in material existence. Clear-sighted, intelligent persons who desire eternal auspiciousness surrender to the lotus feet of these Rasika Bhaktas. Now let's look at Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, what he says in Bengali. He says, Krishna Nam Shuni Roma Vrinda Nritya Kore. So having heard Krishna Nam, the hairs, the hairs on their body, nritya kore, dance. Ananda kampana hoy jahar sharire. And their bodies are tremble with ananda. Their bodies are shivering with ananda, with joy, with bliss. Bhava Sindhu Panka, that means the mud of the ocean of material existence, magna, those who are drowned in that mud. So jiver udhar. So for delivering for delivering those living entities, vichakshan, tihon, these yeah, vichakshana tihon name charan. Okay, so those those feet their feet, tahar charane, vichakshan is very expert, is whatever these is very experienced, is very skillful, is very learned in the process of delivering these jivas. So, Nami, I offer obeisances to those feet. Vichakshan tihon nami charane tahar. To those feet, their feet, which are vichakshan. So, tihon nami, I offer pranam to those feet. Let's see, the Bhajana-rahasya vritti says, I offer my repeated obeisances unto the lotus feet of those persons whose bodily hairs stand on end, whose hearts tremble with bliss, and from whose eyes tears flow upon hearing the name of Sri Krishna. Such devotees, who are most fortunate and magnanimous, are expert in delivering the living entities sunk in the horrible mud of material existence. All right, so then this is where we made it up to yesterday. Chanting the holy name completely cleanses the self. So Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 12th chapter, verse 48 states, Sankirtyamano Bhagavan Ananta Shrutanubhavo Vyasanang hi pungsam Pravishya Chittam Vidunotya Shesham Yatha Tamurko Bhram Ivattivataha. Okay, let's read the translation and then we'll try to figure out the Sanskrit. Okay, so Bhagavan Sri Hari himself enters the heart of a devotee who describes his name, form, qualities, pastimes, and so on, or who hears his glories, and he destroys all the darkness of the sins present there. Upon entering the heart of the jiva, the Supreme Lord destroys his offenses, impediments, duplicity, and material desires, just as the sun drives away darkness or a powerful wind scatters the clouds. This cleanses the mere-like hearts of those who take shelter of Sri Krishna's name, and very quickly they attain their pure transcendental forms. Okay, so let's look at the Sanskrit now. One second, let me just look at the Bengali translation. Oh, and Haribol. I already saw Ganga Mataji, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh, and Haribol, Brian. Haribol. Okay. So it says, Bhagavan Shri Harir Charita Kirtan ba Mahatma Shravan Korile. Tini Manav Ganer Chitta Pravishta Hoya. Surja Jerup Andakar Rashi Evam Prabal Vayu Jerup Mega Rashi Vinasht Kore. Sherup Javatiya Dukka Duri Krita Korea Thaken. Okay, so sometimes it's easy because Bengali is not so it's not so different from Sanskrit, and so lots of times it's a lot easier to make connections when you look at the Bengali translation to the Sanskrit. Um, okay, so when one hears Shrutanubhavo, when they hear or they engage in, sorry, let me start over. When one does performs kirtan, sankirtan, or they hear about Bhagavan Ananta, the limitless Lord, then the Lord pravishya chitam, then the Lord enters that person's heart, the heart of Pungsam, of that person, and vidunoti ashesham vyasanam. Vyasana means like anarthas, all the unwanted bad things in that person's heart. Vidunoti, he destroys ashesham, the endless amounts of vyasanam, of all sorts of anarthas and material desires and sins and suffering and all these bad things. Vidunoti, that Bhagavan enters the heart and destroys those endless things, ashesham. Yata, just like tamo, tamo arka, tama arka, just like the sun destroys darkness, the sun, yeah, and just like abra means clouds, um, scatter, like destroy, sorry, the vata, just like the winds will disperse and destroy the clouds, disperse the clouds. Let's say disperse. It says ati vata. I think that's powerful winds. Ati vata. Yeah. Okay, so let's just look again. So for those who perform kirtan or who engage in shravan, those who have performed kirtan, who engage in shravan, then pravishya chittam, then Bhagavan Ananta, he enters that person's heart and he destroys the vidunoti, he destroys the ashesham, the endless amounts of vyasanam, of all types of anarthas and bad things, vyasanam of that person, pungsam of a person. Just like the sun, the arka destroys tama, darkness, and like ativata, powerful winds, destroy clouds, or scatters the clouds. Yeah. Okay. Let's see now Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bengali verses based on this. Shruta anubhuta jata anartha samyog Shri Krishna kirtane sab hoito viyog. So it's interesting in this Bengali translation. Seems like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is using these words in a different way than it's used in the Sanskrit. Like in the Sanskrit here, this is saying by engaging in kirtan and shravan of Bhagavan Ananta, then all these things are destroyed. And so this is like the remedy, right? For this is the way if you want to destroy all the unwanted things in your heart, all the sins and anarthas and all that from your heart, then here's the method. You do kirtan, sankirtan, and you engage in hearing. I want to know the word anubhav. I didn't really translate that because I don't know how to translate that in this case. Um, Anubhav is like experience, right? I don't know. Anyways, I have to. Um, Anyways, but then in this Bengali, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur uses, instead of using it for, he says, Shruta Anubhuta Jata Anartha Samyog. So the meaning of that is, Jata means all that there is, all the anarthas that samyog, that is, that one is connected with, or that one is samyog. Samyog is like, I just wanna, whatever. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, samyog. Hmm, let's just look this up. Samyog. Samyog means union, conjunction, close contact, combination, mixture. So all the anarthas that one is, that one, uh, that one has, whatever. I'm just gonna say that one has all the anarthas that's been, that one has heard or experienced, right? Shruta means heard or experienced. So through experience or through hearing, all the anarthas that one is now stuck with, samyog. Shri Krishna Kirtane, just by Shri Krishna Kirtan, sab hoy to viyog. All of them will be viyog. Viyog will be removed. They're opposites. There's samyog and viyog. Viyog means will all be subtracted. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So all the anarthas that one has samyog, that one has accumulated um, through shruta, and that's through their hearing or through their experience, all the anarthas, that will all be viyog, that will all be subtracted, will be all removed, basically, through engaging in Krishna Kirtan. Jairup, just in the same way, Jairup, Vayute mega shurja tamanashe. Just like the winds to the clouds and the sun to darkness destroys. Okay, so just like the wind destroys the clouds and the sun destroys the darkness. So, in the same way, chitte praveshiya, having entered the heart, dosh ashesh vinashe, all dosh, all faults, all bad things, ashesh, the endless bad things in the heart, it will enter that heart and vinashe and destroy it all. So Krishna Namashaya Chitta Darpana Marjan. By taking shelter of Krishna Nam, now he's bringing it back full circle. This is the very last verse, right? We went through all these verses about, how Krishna Nam, these 7 excellent results of Krishna Sankirtan. And now at the very end of it, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur brings it back to the beginning, brings it back to the full circle. By taking shelter of Krishna Nam, Chitta Darpana Marjan, there's the cleansing of the mirror of the heart, and Ati Shigra, very quickly, Labhe, the Jiva will attain Krishna Prem Dhan, the treasure of Krishna Prem. Okay, and so now what time is it? Okay, we still have 6 minutes. Now let's read my Gurudev's translation, his commentary on this. He says, the glories of Nam Sankirtan are described in this text. Nam Prabhu enters the heart of the living entity who's performing Nam Sankirtan, destroys all his anarthas, and makes his heart soft and smooth. Not only that, Nam Sankirtan will also destroy all kinds of anarthas and a person who merely sees or hears Sankirtan. I wonder if Anubhav here can also, like, Anubhav means experience, but I wonder if it's like also seeing, having any perception. Let's look up the word Anubhav, because in the commentary here he says who, um, yeah, let's see, destroy all kinds of who merely sees or hears Sankirtan. So I think the sees part is he's translating, like, that's from Anubhav. Let's see. Anubhav, experience, perception. Let's see if it, Anubhava. So this is a Sanskrit dictionary. It says Anubhav means, oh, look, it says sign or indication of a feeling by look or gesture. Okay, so you get a sign or of a feeling by look. Hmm, interesting. Let's see, Apte, great might of power. Yeah, here it says the same thing. An external manifestation or indication of a feeling of above by appropriate symptoms, such as by look, gesture, etc., called by some oh, I don't know. I don't understand that. Okay, let's see. Srila Prabhupada says the influence, mercy, realization, power, potency, uh, perception. Yeah, here is perception also. That's like seeing, right? See how many ways this word Anubhav is translated here, though, like in Srimad Bhagavatam. Um, yeah. Okay. Anyhow, so that's what I'm understanding. That person who merely sees, he has perception, he has some kind of feeling, or who hears this Sankirtan, it will destroy. Even a person who just uh, sees or hears the Sankirtan, not somebody who's singing it, but who just sees or hears it. All kinds of anarthas in that person are destroyed, just like the clouds drive away darkness or the wind drives away the clouds. The scripture states that the jiva's tendency to enjoy will be completely destroyed on the strength of the performing Nam Kirtan in the association of devotees. At the end of Srimad Bhagavatam 12:13-23, Sri Vedavyasa glorifies Nam Sankirtan. So this verse that we went through is the 12th chapter of the 12th canto, verse 48. So the very end of the second to the last chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then right after that, the very last chapter, so like, I don't know, 20 something verses after that, I think, then the very last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Param. This is the very last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, all sins are completely destroyed by the chanting of Sri Bhagavan's names, and all kinds of miseries are relieved by complete surrender to his lotus feet and by always bowing down to him. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the absolute truth, Shri Hari. That's the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also concluded these verses describing the 7 results of Nam by almost the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is kind of similar, pretty similar meaning. And so it's interesting that he used this verse for Sarvatma Snapanam. Hmm. Yeah, this Krishna Nam Kirtan, that's Sarvatma Snapanam, so Vidhunoti. It completely destroys the very last, also, to the very end. It destroys everything. It's, what does Vidhunoti? I thought meant destroys, but I wonder if it means like purifies. I don't know how to look it up though. Vidhuno, you wouldn't look it up like that because that's a verb. But let's just see what happens. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So Srila Prabhupada, he translates this word as cleans away, cleanses, purifies, specifically cleanses, washes away, washes off. Okay, so these are all have to do with being, water, or yeah, washes away. So they become completely saratma snapanam, right? They're completely bathed. Um, Sarva Atma also. That means completely internally, externally. Um, they're fully bathed as much as you can possibly be bathed, inside and outside. They're very thoroughly bathed. And so that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur used this verse also, I think, because this word vidunoti means is completely washed. It enters the heart and completely, fully washes everything out and completely bathes that person. Yeah. And that's very similar to Chitta Darpana Marjanam. So it seems like Sarvatma Snapanam and Chitta Darpana Marjanam are somewhat connected. It's like a loop. um, like you begin with, I don't know, I'm just speculating here, but you begin with starting to cleanse the mirror of the heart. And then at the very end of these 7 excellent results, then you are fully washed. Like you're completely not, yeah, that's like the end of the cleaning. It's like when you're just fully immersed and there's not even the tiniest speck of any kind of unwanted thing. And you are now fully situated in your Swarup. All the bad stuff's now it's completed. The Cheta Darpana Marjanam has been completed now. And then that's when you're Saratna Snapanam. And there's not even the tiniest smell of any more anarthas or anything, right? And that's like as we're looking uh in Madhurya Kadambini, we looked at that chart here. It's with the anarthas being destroyed. And then the very last one was Atyantiki, like on the stage of what stage was it? I think even at the stage of Bhav, everything is completely destroyed, even our desires for Pratishta and everything. Like everything is completely destroyed. But just like there's an example of in a bottle of whatever, of any kind of thing, of a you have a bottle of gasoline, and you completely empty out all the gasoline. You even wash it out, and it's completely out, but you can still smell the gasoline in it. Like you can still have the smell of gasoline. So even at the stage of Bhav, everything will be completely washed out. There's not a single, even the smallest fraction of an anartha there. It's all gone. But you can still, there's still the smell. And so, but now at this sarvatma snapanam, when you've been completely thoroughly washed, cleansed inside and out, then that's atyantiki. That's the extreme, absolute, complete cessation of even the smell of anarthas, and that is prem. And so that's why sarvatma snapanam is when you've now attained vastu siddhi. Now you've completely shed it off. This material body, there's no connection, no memory. That this whole time in your material existence, don't even remember it. It didn't exist to you. Now you've taken birth in Krishna's pastimes. So you've attained vastu siddhi, and now you're engaging directly in Krishna's pastimes, serving Krishna directly, not just meditating on your spiritual form, but now you're actually in your form serving Krishna in Krishna's pastimes. And so that's Vastu Siddhi, and that's Sarvatma Snapana. Everything's completely washed away. You've washed away any existence of any subtle body, physical body, any material, anything. And now you're in Krishna's pastimes. So it begins with Chaito Darpana Marjanam. You're starting to, like from where I am right now with my heaps of anarthas from unlimited lifetimes, I'm starting to clean it. And then finally at the very end, Saratna Snapanam. And now there's no more even the tiniest slight connection with any of my past anything. And so that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur brings it back to Chaito Darpana Marjanam after explaining this Saratma Snapanam. That's what I'm understanding. All right, so that's our program for today. And then tomorrow is Kolavecha Sridhar Pandit's appearance day, disappearance day. And I've posted a bunch of things on Vine of Devotion. I want to try to translate. I'm not going to have any time to translate today, so I'll have to do it tomorrow. But I'm hoping tomorrow I can post something. I did a series of about Sridhar Pandit on my website, Vine of Devotion. And today will be the last, tomorrow will be the last thing in the series, last pastime with Mahaprabhu and Sridhar Pandit. And that will be our program also tomorrow, so we can read all those sections from Chaitanya Bhagavat, which we translated for my website. All right. Let's do a quick Mahamantra and Jayadavani, and if anybody has anything to say, you can mention. Right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhajana-rahasya ki Jai. Jai Srila Jai Shri Chaitanya Shikṣāṣṭaka ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Nam Sankirtan ki Jai. Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, Sarveshwari Mataji, Lakshmi Ben Mataji, and Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Vidyalala Sadidi, Ganga Mataji, and all other devotees watching, maybe Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, and devotees watching in the future like Shachi Devi, Revati Didi, Jai Dev Prabhu, and anybody else. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for Sridhar Pandit. Really excited for that, actually. It's my favorite section of Chaitanya Bhagavat, so really, yeah, eager to read that all with you. And then after this, we will continue on. I think after this, um, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur will give 2 verses from Krishna Namashtak, and then 3 verses evidence from the Vedas, from the Rig Veda, about the glories of Harinam. And I forgot what comes after that, but anyhow, we'll see. Yes, Sarveshwari Mataji.
Prabhu, in the current Bhajan book, in the current one, in the
Yes.
section that is Indian Bhasha Kirtans,
Yeah.
that is a Guru Charana Kamala Bhajamana. This is
Yeah.
Gurudev wrote this book, this song.
Actually, in the Papana. Sorry. Yeah, no, no.
No?
Actually, I'm. It's the Gurudev's name is written as the author in that book, but I think in this next edition of Gaudiya Gita Gocha, I'm going to take out Gurudev's name because Gurudev didn't actually write it. I think he just
No?
changed one word. There's Bhav Bhakti Prem Tina Prakashata. So before in the other, like in the song, it previously said Gyan Bhakti Prem. So Gurudev changed that word Gyan to Bhav. And
So,
then there's like
oh,
there's one other word that was different. And
so
so I think,
she didn't
yeah,
write
Gurudev
it,
didn't actually, yeah, Gurudev didn't
no?
actually write it. He just changed 2 of the words in it.
Because the name is of him is there, and there is the name of Gurudev is there.
Yeah,
But
I know. So I think I'm gonna remove it now, like in the next edition, just because he changed those 2 words, but he didn't actually write the song.
read. And what about but Gurudeva Kripa Karke? Yes, he wrote him. No?
No, no,
Ah,
no. And that one, the Gurudev's name was never written for that.
ah. So
Yeah.
because all the bunch of Hindi version here, there is no after Gurudeva Kripa Karke, there is no author. It's a Sundara Lala Sachira, and then
Yeah, I mean, like for most of the Hindi kirtans,
yeah.
there isn't like they're just traditional songs that Vrijvasis sing and stuff
Ah,
like that, but
that's
it's
why
not,
it's not
nobody
known.
actually knows the author. Um, I
Ah,
remember Gaur Sundar Prabhu, you know the song Radhe Jhulana Padaro Druki Ai Vadara? I think Gorasundar Prabhu, who's in Hawaii, with the amazing
Yes, yes.
Kirtaniya,
The-
he sent me a message showing me he thinks he found the author for this song. But like for most of the songs, we don't know the author.
we don't know.
So
They're all traditional ones. Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw. So actually, Gurudev didn't write any song, like his
He wrote
song.
Vajradhana Manasukakari. That Gurudev
Oh,
was
this is
fully the author
him.
of that. Fully him, yeah.
This
There's a
is
song
him.
that's similar to it. Not, it's pretty different actually, but it's a similar kind of style. Like it has the Radhe Sham Shama Sham.
Yeah.
And we're going to include that in the songbook. That it's Jaya Keshava Kali Hari Radhe Shama Shama Sham. Jaya Madhava Madana Murari Radhe Shama Shama Sham. So we're going to include that in the songbook. And then Gurudev wrote a song that was like inspired by the style of that song, but all the words in it are fully Gurudev's original words. Like that's fully his. He wrote that.
Well, his. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, good that you clarify because I was just looking at this book and say, who? I was thinking, I wasn't aware of this. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu. Thank
No
you.
problem. Haribol.
Mhm.
Haribol. All right. Dandavat pranams. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe.